So how are you feeling about the real estate market? 2023 was a little rough, but 2024 there seems to be some encouraging optimism out there. And everybody is hoping that that will prevail through the year. In this video, let's talk about what buyers and sellers are facing in 2024, what some of the predictions and forecasts are from some of the experts for the year. And at the end of the video, I'll relate this all back to Naples, Florida, and what Naples is experiencing as we are just beginning 2024. I think what we first need to understand is that our market has shifted. We went from a market of fear of missing out during the pandemic years. We are now in a market of quality and need. The consumer has essentially changed. There has to be quality and need for them to take action, whether they're a buyer or a seller. They've been out there waiting to see what happens. They've had affordability challenges, and some have been thinking that prices should be crashing. We certainly have a backlog of sellers that have been wanting to sell, but their desire to sell is based on quality of life. And they too are still worried about affordability and inflation. So 2024 is anticipated to be the year of interest rates coming down. Some experts are predicting that we could see cuts as early as March. Others are saying it'll be June. But either way, whether it's March or June, the overall expectation is that rate cuts will happen this year. Just a real quick introduction, if this is your first time to my channel, I'm Alicia Shivers. I'm your go-to Naples, Florida real estate agent. I've lived in Naples for the last 24 years. I've sold real estate here for the last 13, and I'd love to help you find your place here in Naples, Florida. Now let's get back into this video and see what is ahead for 2024. It is still expected amongst the experts that we will not hit those rock bottom interest rates that we saw during the pandemic years. Most feel that we're going to settle out somewhere between the 5 and 6% range. If you're feeling a little skeptical about that, I don't really blame you. But here's some quotes from some chief economists that might make you feel or might encourage you a little bit. If mortgage interest rates do happen to get somewhere down into the low 6s or even the high 5s sometime in 2024, then that would give us a housing market where supply and demand are much more in balance. The lowering of interest rates this year could ease that bottleneck of sellers that have been sitting on those rock bottom interest rates. Those that want to sell may be more willing to do so because they can in turn around and purchase something that might be more suitable for their family's needs now. The lowering of interest rates this year will also create more new builds. Although that was the one bright spot in 2023, is that builders continued to build. So all of this combined, potentially more new building, sellers wanting to sell and actually selling, and buyers getting off the fence, could result in more transactions this year overall. 2024 is also anticipated to be the year when inflation hits that target 2%. But we can't forget that 2024 is also a presidential election year. So what does that mean for real estate? It is not unusual for people to pull back buying and selling real estate leading up to an election. It's just human nature. And yet, shortly after the election, activity tends to return to normal. But as one chief economist so eloquently put it, the economy is going to do what the economy is going to do, no matter who is in office. What will change are people's feelings about the economy. And think about it. If you're a Democrat and a Republican gets in office, you're going to think the economy is bad. If you're a Republican and a Democrat gets in office, you're going to think the economy is bad. But if your party wins, you're likely going to think the economy is good. It's not necessarily logical. We're just human after all, and we tend to let our feelings dictate how we respond to things. In 2024, it is also predicted that home values will continue to appreciate at a much more normal rate. Those double-digit appreciation numbers that we saw in 2021 and 2022 are over. Economists are predicting around a 3 to 5% appreciation moving forward. Perhaps the one thing that will remain constant in 2024 is that move-in ready homes will remain the bulk of the appeal for buyers. That, coupled with appropriate pricing, will bring the buyers. In the luxury market though, while these things are attractive, the other thing that trumps all is the experience of the home and or the location. Okay, so let's drill all this down to Naples, Florida. A few things happened in Naples, Florida in 2023. The average sales price increased modestly, about 2.5% over the course of the year. but the overall number of sales was down about 13%. And inventory, which is the number of homes for sale, did increase with just over 3,900 properties for sale in all of Naples. But even with current days on market remaining relatively low at about 60 days to go to contract, when establishing a list price, a seller mustn't lose sight of the fact that buyers currently have many more options. In fact, many more options than in the past 5 years, and that the closed sales price has stabilized in 2023. For buyers, that increase in options is obviously welcome news. But in order to keep from losing out when the right home is identified, buyers should keep in mind that homes are selling and that the market is not in an oversupply situation. What's critical to understand is that conditions vary greatly, not just by county or town, but also in some cases by neighborhood. If you're seeking a professional to help guide you in this market, I'm here to help. Naples is a dynamic market, and I'd love to partner with you to help you meet your real estate goals here in Southwest Florida. All of my information is below. Please feel free to call, text, email, and we can start working on your search in Naples today.